Why is it that the good stuff always happens when I'm not producing? Hey guys, I'm Leeway Previs. Welcome to a new season event. And let's start off with what's been happening in Australia over the past couple of months. I mean, we've had floods, we've had cyclones, 2 cyclones in fact, we've had fire over in Western Australia, and it's pretty much affected everything here. According to a report in one of the newspapers here, the floods have actually taken their toll on businesses, and supposedly we've lost about 8.9% in revenue. Of course, that's not the only thing that's affecting the natural disaster side of things. Victims of Cyclone Yasi will have about 6 months to make a claim for disaster recovery. Now, that's not too bad, except until you start considering that this is through Centrelink, which is basically the lot in charge of payments from the government. And when you consider that, alright, you start to consider the fact that the government's actually the ones who are deciding who gets paid. So that could mean anything. In regards to the Western Australian fires, a police officer is actually being investigated for accidentally starting one of the fires, which actually claimed 68 homes in the Perth Hills. Now, the reason why he's being investigated is because at the time he was using an angle grinder, and obviously in bushland, and sparks flew off, and yeah, you can guess the rest. Additionally, apparently a new ride in a British theme park is actually being moved because of the appearance of a headless monk. They actually found out that where the headless monk was found, they'd found stone coffins, which belonged to the old Chertsey Abbey. I can understand their reasoning for moving the ride from an ancient burial ground. I can understand that, but basing all that on a ghost, some people would choose to disbelieve it. I personally believe that it may have happened, but some people would think that it's just a scare. Alright? Obviously it's a scare that proved correct, but some people would just think it was a scare tactic. Alright? And as a result, the Storm Surge ride is being moved from its original location on the burial ground to another part of the park. That means a lot of dismantling and relocation and all that type of stuff. And yeah, basically, moral to the story: check where you're putting stuff before you stick it there. Who knows, you might be sitting on a burial ground. Now, as well, there were a few other stories that are around. Alright, the Egypt riots. I think we've heard a lot about them. It's been going on for about 2 weeks. So, yeah, I think we've heard just about everything about that, especially the internet being completely disconnected, journalists and other foreigners being taken into custody and that type of stuff. I think we've heard a lot about that. Plus, everyone's talked about it, the Super Bowl. I'm not going to talk about it at all. Okay, let's move on to something completely new, and it is, well, it's actually a new segment, the Madness Ride. Now, everyone knows that there is a very thin line between bravery and stupidity. And what I'm going to tell you about is something that borders more on bravery, on the bravery side of that line. And it's a home captured video of a 70-plus-year-old grandmother. Now, at first it doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's just a guy watching a robbery. Why? I don't know. But he's filming a robbery, and all of a sudden, the grandmother is running up, handbag in hand, and she's whacking these guys. And they eventually flee off, but two fall off their bike as they go. And eventually one is restrained by the populace, who, after seeing this woman bash the heck out of these guys, finally decides to come and help. As of the report, 4 people have been arrested. The other 2 are still on the run, but I would give props to the grandmother and a what the f to the rest of the populace. Now, it's time for that nice little segment called News from My Phone. And the news from my phone is, oh god, Dortmund, Germany is holding the 13th deer calling championships. Now, for those who don't know what that is, basically where people go out into the middle of the forest and they imitate deer calls. I'm just going to not worry about that one at all. You can read the article from the links down below. Unfortunately, there's not going to be a must-do this week. I'll bring that one in next week. And additionally, I'm not going to have any questions this week. So, yep, until next week, I'm Leeway Previs, and I'll see you all next time. Bye. Oh yes, and I almost forgot. If you want to subscribe, just click the button up the top there. If you want to comment on anything, just do it down below. And of course, all the articles that I'm talking about will also be linked in the underbar. So I'll see you all next time.